Well, hello there, and welcome back to the Battle of Chancellorsville, my friends. A lot of people were really impressed with how we led this attack and were actually able to hold the rebels back. But now we have heard some conflicting reports that there might be an entire rebel army converging on our location. And while I'd love to stay in this area, I'm hesitant to leave. I think I'm going to trust you guys on this one and pull just about everybody right back over here to Chancellor's Farm. So we're going to go ahead and move back with quite a bit of our men. Some of these guys are going to cover our retreat because I want to make sure that whatever happens, we don't lose this area. But the issue is, oh my goodness, well that's one issue, a huge amount of enemy forces moving forward. Now, of course, they suggest that we move back and basically try and, I guess, retake this area later. I'm not sure if that's 100% correct, but surely we know that there is a major Confederate force arriving, and hopefully we'll have some time later in the battle to come back and take this location. Yes, it's true, we're pretty much leaving this to the enemy, but look at that group of Confederates. I mean, that's pretty vicious, and I don't think we could deal with that if push comes to shove. So I'm actually going to keep Kane here. He's just going to try to hold off the enemy for a little bit. I want to make sure that Weed is also moving back to the farm here, and hopefully we can put up a pretty good defense. Now, one negative aspect about this farm is the fact that, well, put quite simply, this farm is not very well defended. I mean, it's just basically a bunch of fields, wheat fields, etc. But I'm thinking that we need to get the hell out of here before things get too hairy. So we're going to grab the rest of these guys. We're going to pull back. I might use some skirmishers to obviously hold the enemy back slightly. In fact, I think I'm going to take Burbank skirmishers here, put them in the woods, and just kind of snipe at the enemy as we're moving out of here, as we're trying to escape this location. It looks like Ross, oh my goodness, Confederate charge. Ross, run, 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 get the hell out of here. Oh, we may not be able to stop this one. I'm going to bring Candy out and try to get a flanking shot there on Colquitt. But it definitely looks like Ross. Nope, Ross is definitely going to be stuck there. Sorry, Ross. Nothing we can do for you, buddy. Take Brooke and the rest of these guys and try to save the rest of our army. I've also heard some conflicting reports that we may even be getting an attack from the west, not just from the east. But either way, you can see that that is one huge Confederate horde, and we are not going to be able to stop it if we're not careful. So I'm hoping that we're moving in time here. I might remove some guys from Knipe. Right now, though, Knipe has got to get his ass over back to the farm. And one thing I'm going to do is, first of all, let's grab Carroll here, put him right there on the fence. Not the greatest situation, not the greatest location, of course, because the enemy's going to be moving through the woods. But I'm thinking this could be sort of a first line of defense against the enemy. So I'm going to put Burbank over here. I'm going to put O'Rourke over here. Sort of a, just like I said, a first line of defense against the enemy while we keep them back. Our skirmishers are actually doing a wonderful job at sort of harassing the enemy enough to keep them away from us for a little bit of time, for, you know, a few minutes, few seconds, whatever you want to call it. Hey, all of it helps. And I sure hope that people are correct when they say that we need to move back to that area. But I'm kind of worried that we're going to lose the battle by doing that and leaving those other areas unprotected. Nonetheless, I trust my users. Most of the time they're right, and that's why we're doing this. So let's take a look at all of those damn rebels. My God. Okay, Burbank, even you can get the hell out of here at this point, man. I don't think you're going to make it, but go for it. Ross, you're definitely not going to make it. Get your ass out of here, son. And I'm going to have him run, as a matter of fact. There's another defensive position up there. I'm going to send Brooke to that defensive position. And I'm going to make sure that when he goes there, he is running there. We can't afford to waste any time right now. Even the enemy skirmishers are getting really close. Like I said, I put some cannons there to help defend the area. We've got Burbank skirmishers right here. And I'm also going to keep them in the woods as the initial repelling force. The rest of these guys will set up around the area to defend. But we've already got a nice group of men defending this location. And in fact, as soon as the enemy breaks the tree line, we're going to be prepared to fight them. So let's go ahead and do that. I'm going to keep General Slocum behind these men. But we are definitely setting up a position that I don't generally like to set up. And that is one out in the open. But it doesn't look like we have much of a choice. So let's do that. I'm even going to put Fitzhugh over here. Make sure he's aiming at the enemy too. Green. Well, it's too bad we can't put anybody on that little wall right there. But let's hope that the Confederates do start pushing back. and do start attacking Chancellor's farm. A lot of people wanted me to wait in the woods because they wanted to see what would happen, and I'm pretty sure that it wouldn't be anything good. Our supply wagon is empty. We are waiting for reinforcements as far as I know, and it looks like the first group of Confederates are advancing, but they're just skirmisher units, so I'm not too concerned about them. Nonetheless, units like Kane over here could probably field us a few more skirmishers. So let's move Kane's skirmishers over here. And I really appreciate the user that made the suggestion of doing that, of actually using these skirmishers for a greater cause. I think it was a really good idea, and it's definitely helping us. So here we go. Got first group of skirmishers moving forward, and the first group of rebels, led by Sems, are moving forward too. And hot damn, I'm not looking forward to that one bit. But it's our job. We've got to do our absolute best to hold this area. So we're going to be hanging out over by the wheat field, more or less, and hopefully putting a pretty good defensive line here. I'm even going to make this a sort of C formation so that we can start flanking the enemy from multiple sides if they do choose to attack. It looks like they're setting up there. They sent a lot of skirmishers forward, and we want to respond in kind with Kane skirmishers, Burbank skirmishers, etc. And make sure that the enemy knows they're not just going to be picking us off little by little. We're just not going to accept that. I might even move one of our units like Green into the woods here. Ruger is already headed to this location. And I think right now our main task should be to hold off the rebels until we get enough men to push and take those locations once again. We've done it once, we can certainly do it again, and that should be our goal right now. So there we go, Green is moving into the woods. He's taking some nasty hits as he does try to get there, and he's not in a position to create any sort of skirmisher regiments, but I'm going to put him here, and hopefully this will dissuade the enemy from getting too close. See some supply wagons approaching. That's usually a sign of an impending Confederate attack. I think most of us know that. Let's take Burbank skirmishers also and harass some of theirs. If we're going to have a skirmisher fight, we're going to have a skirmisher fight. I'll tell you that right now. Now, Candy can create some skirmishers. We're going to take Candy skirmishers over here. Keep on firing. And look at that. Oh, yeah, we've got some rebels on the way. We've definitely got some rebels on the way. So let's get Ruger. I'm actually going to put him right here. I know we don't really have the cover of the fence, but this is about as good as we're going to get. Damn, Green. Just stay put, man. Might even take Ruger and try to outflank the enemy here. So let's do that. See if we have any other men. Maybe Ross even could help outflank the enemy. We're just trying to find different ways to stop this assault. No! Damn it, Carol! What's wrong with you? Go back. Alright, there we go. Look at that! Look at that! Look at that! Colquitt is moving forward for a charge. He could definitely break Green. I'm definitely worried about that. Let's move Slocum over here closer to the men, because this is where most of the action is going to take place. I want to get Ruger to get in position and hopefully fire on the enemy. We are going to be hitting our own men, but sort of reminds me of that scene from Braveheart where the guy, the knight turns to Sir Edward Longshanks, or King Longshanks, excuse me, and he says, "Sir, if we fire, we'll hit our own men." "Yes, but we'll hit theirs as well." That's my thought process right now, especially since, unfortunately, Green has found himself in a pretty nasty position, and it does look like we've routed the enemy there also with some canister shot. No doubt that's going to also harm our boys too, but I think at this point it's worth it, and it looks like those rebels are going to take off. Good work. Let's grab Ruger here, move him into the woods. We've already got some skirmishers harassing us, and that's not good. We need a safe space. I'm going to hold on. If anybody doesn't get that joke, you should watch my Confederate campaign. So we're going to move on here. There's a possibility the enemy will attack from the east as well. I don't want that to be a possibility, but the fact is, it is. And I think I'm also going to move these cannons forward over here, Weeds cannons. So let's grab that, move forward, and I'm hoping that after that timer goes out, that we're going to get some reinforcements. We might not, but I sure hope we do. All right, Ruger. Come on, boy. The president will not be happy if you don't do your absolute best here. Got to get those skirmishers. We're already actually getting some pretty good shots on them just with our regular infantry. You can see some of our infantry is exhausted. And of course they are. I mean, this has not been an easy battle. We've had to run away from what was looking like an awesome victory location. Are those skirmishers actually trying to charge? That's what happens when skirmishers try to charge. No, no, no. We're not allowing that. They just totally ran. They want nothing to do with that fight. And they immediately took off and got the hell out of there. Alright, let's see, boys. Sorry about that, my friends. I believe Skype is conspiring to make sure that we don't go through. I almost just exited the menu, by the way. That we don't go through with that. So here we go. Ross is going to have to deal with a lot of Confederates here. I hope that these two units, these two brigades, can hold the enemy back. And these shots from the woods should make Colquitt consider pulling back. Of course, now I really want them focusing only on Colquitt. It looks like Colonel Sidney Brooke got a hit to the arm. May have to be amputated. What can I say? These things happen. I wish we had some cavalry, too, because we could easily just grab all those enemy supplies, and we probably need them. As far as I can see, we don't have any other wagons. Oh, nope. See, that one's empty. Can't use that. But let's bring Petit's forces. And the problem is we don't know if the enemy's going to attack from the north. I highly doubt they are. That's one of the reasons I'm going to pull Petit's cannons down here. And here we go. Ruger is now arriving. Colquitt, you're about to get a big surprise, buddy. You cannot hold Ruger back. I'll tell you that right now. Open fire, boys. By the way, people mentioned the sound quality was much lower last time because the game sounds were turned down. I hope it's a lot better now. I hope you guys can hear those muskets cracking or those rifles cracking. Really, they're rifle muskets. I've seen a lot of arguments in the chat about whether they're muskets or rifles. I think they're kind of one and the same. Of course, these are much easier to load than a regular musket. You got percussion caps, all that fun stuff, which makes your job a lot easier. And you've also got the amazing mini ball, which we all know is just an absolute ambassador of death. So I'm going to try to move Green out of his wooded position. I know some of you are not going to agree with this, but I'm thinking right now we can get some nice flanking shots on this advancing rebel horde. And if that's the case, we are going to go for it. Fortunately, Ross is exhausted. I almost want to bring Slocum forward, but I just don't think I can offer any help with him. He's got to watch the main line, while these guys are kind of almost our commando force against the enemy. Now, there we go. Colquitt's getting smashed here. Oh, proceeding to the next day. Well, heck, that went well, I guess. I guess we're going to get some reinforcements. Interesting. 2nd May. All right, well, let's start. So now, look at that. Now we're defending against a major rebel horde. This is interesting. General, it seems that our plan is not progressing well. The Confederates responded very aggressively, and we are now on the offensive. Our camp in Chancellorsville must be secured if we want to advance further. Couch's Corps defends the east side of the map. I can't stop laughing at that name. Meade's 5th Corps secures our left flank. The rebels are less likely to attack us here, but we must be wary. Every time they say that, we rarely get an attack on that flank. And the Slocum's Corps will protect against their direct frontal attack from Lee. And Sickles' Corps covers Slocum's left and deployed his brigades around the camp. And it looks like even these guys are defending against a possible Confederate assault. Wow. Howard's 11th Corps has been ordered to cover our far right. His troops have low morale and training, so it's better to keep him away from trouble. To keep him away, from trouble. He has positioned his brigades quite poorly and has not taken necessary measures to protect against Confederate attack. We must help him out. That's not good news. So we've clearly got a lot of recruits just joined the Federal Army. Probably not too happy to have joined. And they are going to need some help. I'm thinking Reynolds' 1st Corps will be helping those boys. I'm also thinking I want to move some of these brigades forward into the woods. We are completely unaware of what the rebels are planning. They haven't attacked us till now, and it's soon getting dark. Attempting to advance at this time could be extremely risky, but also rewarding. It's your call to decide what's best. Well, you guys generally know my approach to these situations, and that is to move forward. But that might not be such a great idea. So we're going to move Bowman here. I can't help but put some of these guys across this sort of canal. So even if we're not going to move forward, even if we are going to defend, I still think we should be defending in an effective way. And one way to do that is going to be to have some boys over here on the other side of the canal so that if the rebels do intend to attack us, we're going to be ready for that attack. We might even use that arriving corps to go ahead and try to push this attack, of course. So we're sending 4 brigades. I'll even send Ross, even though he's not very strong right now, to help here. And who knows? I'm actually going to send these skirmishers, led by Burden, to check out the woods, scout the forest, make sure we don't have any rebel sappers, rebel skirmishers, excuse me, or even rebel army brigades, moving forward. And if there aren't any, we may want to go ahead and carry out that attack. But look at that, we are already spotting 1 rebel brigade, led by Paxton. Oh yeah, it begins, baby, it begins. Now the enemy has the high ground here, so that I don't like. We might have to keep moving up a little more. Come on, boys. I know you can do this. We're going to actually have these boys run into position. And like I said, I rarely like to run in Ultimate General games because it really messes with your overall, what's the word I'm looking for? Well, with your overall level of condition. You know, it really puts your men down. Nobody likes having to run that much. And ultimately, it really ends up hurting your men quite a lot. So there we go, and it looks like the West is also receiving an attack, even an attack from the rear. Is that possible? Wow, this general is definitely an idiot. Not good if he's getting attacked from the rear. But so far his men are holding out pretty well. Stonewall Jackson's Colston Division is storming our right flank. And of course, as you guys know, that is our weakest point, is that right flank. And yeah, it looks like Beale is back here, really causing us a lot of damage. So I'm going to move Bushbeck over here. Barlow, I think I'll keep him in place. And we've got Davis over here. So we do have some cavalry for once. I'm going to move him forward. And I'm even going to take these boys over here. I see no reason for them to stay put. We're going to move them to the west here to assist with this situation. My God, boys. My God. McLean's not in the best formation at all. So we're going to move McLean and Schmiffelnig into the woods, if they have enough time to do so. Excuse me, boys. Come on now. AP Hill's division is approaching on our right. I mean, holy crap, this whole area is going to get overrun. We'll move Bushbeck up here to try to stop AP Hill. But yeah, I can see now why they warned us about the positioning of this particular general. It ain't looking good, let's just put it that way. He has not taken the necessary steps to defend his location. Let's go take a look at what's happening over here by the woods. So it looks like we're still having a continuous assault or a continuous attack here by Archer's forces. And really, there's not much going on there. I mean, when you've got a woods attack like this, it's kind of hard to anticipate what the hell is going to happen. But I'm definitely going to move Sickles over here to assist these guys. I mean, if they're going to be all the way back here for the battle, they might as well get some help. Oh, man. Come on, boys. See what's going on here. All right, Nichols is charging forward. So is McGowan. Now, Schmiffelnig has an opportunity here to get some pretty good shots. Krasnowski started firing. Krasnowski's never good in these games. I don't know if he's just a poor general in general. I've never wanted to say those two words together. But there's just something about him. He's just not really good. There we go. Davis charging. Boom. Actually, I believe Krasnowski is the Polish general, if I'm not mistaken. I do remember when I was a much younger lad living with my ex-girlfriend in Greenpoint. Sorry, boys. Living with my ex-girlfriend in Greenpoint, that there was a statue, I believe, of Krasnowski. He was definitely a Civil War general, but I don't know if it was him. So here we go. My gosh. We are just getting blasted at this point. And there's really not much I can do. Stupid Howard. You stink. I'm going to get Martin to start firing from here. At least Benjamin's getting some good shots, but Brigadier Schmiffelnig is wounded. That ain't good at all. So we know that the enemy is going to be probing us over here. Probing, I think, is a good word. Well, not like an alien probes, but you know what I mean. Probing is a good word to explain what's going on here. The enemy's probing our position, seeing if they can work their way through. and they're doing a pretty good job. They've got us, of course, trapped in the famous Fishhook formation right now. And once you're trapped in the Fishhook, I mean, I've got first-hand experience with this from playing so many of these damn games. Fishhooks are terrible in Civil War situations, or even in Napoleonic War situations. Once the enemy starts doing the Fishhook, once they start trying to envelop you with their forces and surround you, you've got some major, major problems. So there we go. At least we got Heth to pull back. That's pretty cool. I'm going to see if we can get some shots on Pender. Pender is another amazing general. I've got to say, in my opinion, and you can disagree with me on this, I really do believe the Confederacy had, without a doubt, the better generals of the war. You know, despite losing, they really just had some amazing, amazing colonels, generals, etc., you name it, commanders. Even if people hate Nathan Bedford Forrest, for example, sort of one of the best guerrilla tacticians of the war itself. And really managed to just do an amazing job with his guerrilla tactics. Now, we haven't really paid attention to this area. Oh my goodness, Lee, W. Lee. Now, that's not Robert E. Lee. It's a different Lee, but nonetheless, he is definitely making his presence known. W. Lee surrendered. Hey, we got some Confederate prisoners. They even got off their horses and everything. That's pretty good. Get the hell out of here. Stewart's going to pull back. What's going on with our boys in the woods? I hope you're doing okay, boys. Hold on, help's coming, I promise. Thomas is going to try to push over here. We might try to meet him with Ross and Bowman. But man, we got our work cut out for us. Finally, we got some supplies. I don't really know where they're needed, so I'm sending them over here. And even Mott could probably help here with Beale. Alright, I'm thinking we should take these boys and move them... Not Lee, because you're a prisoner. Over here into the woods. So I think you guys can see what I'm doing. If this area gets overrun, then at least we'll have a frontal assault plan. And I hope these cannons can just blast McGowan with some serious fire and hold him back. Come on, boys. Martin, you can do this. Fire into Iverson. Schmivelnig, fire at once. Wish they brought back the... well, actually, they've never done this, but one thing I think they would really improve the game is, and I love the game, to me it's a 9 out of 10, but to bring back the volley fire button and the fire at will button would be absolutely awesome. And there we go, Iverson's going to try to push. No way. No way, Iverson. Von Gilsa, give him a taste of that musket fire. Keep it up, keep it up. Okay, this is where the shit hits the fan. Yep, enemy is pushing forward. Barlow is crushed. There's no way he's going to be able to hold that area. What should we do with Chapman? What should we do with Chapman? Okay, well, what I'm going to do with Chapman is send him all the way up north. It looks like Davis is already up here. I'm going to see what we can do to the enemy rear. They might have some supplies nearby. Sorry, guys, if you just heard me like right next to the mic, it's because I was. Here we go. Oh, we got some Artie. We got some Artie. Hello there. Why, it's good to make your acquaintance. Hope you guys haven't reloaded in a while. No, I don't like that Heth is really trying to catch us before we hit that artillery. Come on, boys. Make them run. Oh, Heth's going to get a really good shot at our rear. There's not much we can do about that. I'm just glad we got a few of the enemy down. See some knockdown cannons there, but definitely not as... Didn't work as well as I expected it to. Now we got Barlow. All these boys should be in the woods facing the enemy, so let's make sure they're doing that. I definitely want Howard behind the lines, even though he's a goddamn freaking, what's the word I'm looking for? He's the negative of opposite. Wait, I just said it, but that's not the word I was looking for. What's the word, like if you got a pebble in your shoe? Somebody put it down below, you know, like he's not exactly helping. He's kind of costing us more than he's helping, basically. It's the best way I could put it. His assistance is not needed. I mean, besides maybe holding back the occasional brigade, he can't seem to really do much in this situation. Oh, shit, Shermer. We don't need that happening to you, buddy. I've got a lot of respect for these boys. They have fought so damn hard. But I do fear that we may need to leave this position or perhaps try and reinforce it. And holy crap, Schmivelnig's being attacked by Rosser. He's actually getting charged. He might have to actually surrender there, unless he can get his wits about him. That ain't good by any stretch of the imagination. Let's take these cavalry units, try to converge over here. And actually, Chapman, you should move through the woods, because you're going to get shot, boy. There we go. Colquitt's being pulled back. Maybe we should assist this group. So you know what? I'm going to move forward. It may be crazy, but sometimes crazy wins the battle. Am I right? Let's take a look over here. They're still holding pretty well over in this position against Archer's forces, but I don't like the fact that Dan Sickles is way too close to the enemy. And Ruger isn't really doing much, so we'll pull him out over here. There we go. Look at all those tracers. They're not actually tracers. We just love how we're able to see the bullets flying through the woods. And, you know, bullets in the woods, they don't do too well, unfortunately. I'm going to keep firing at Mahone with Burden. I mean, his skirmishers are basically just sniping Mahone little by little. All right, Clark. Come on, boy. Come on, y'all. Definitely looks like Iverson led a melee attack there. A nice concentrated melee attack. We need McLean, and we need a Shermer, and basically all of this artillery to smash Doles. Unfortunately, Krzyzanowski's already taken off. Well, tell me something that I didn't know. Come on, Iverson, get out of here. The hell do you think you are, man? Okay, Graham's going to take up Bushlock's position. Obviously, once we're at the farm, we can see a whole lot, and I'm definitely going to fire at Ramser. But we're already dealing with Rosser in front of us. There's a lot of Confederate cavalry down here. Let's see what our cavalry's doing. All right, Davis, come on, son. Get those skirmishers. We could even chase Jackson. In fact, I'm going to send Chapman to chase Walker. And I'm going to send Davis over here. If they're going to try to flank our boys, we're going to flank them. And if we could get General Jackson, I mean, just imagine the damage we would do to their army. Keep up the fire, boys. Keep up the fire. Let's get Jackson. Oh, shit. We got skirmishers. All right, get these skirmishers. Doesn't look like they want to charge. This might be one situation where those damn skirmishers are actually causing more damage than expected. Move forward, Heyman. We need you boys to be the first line of defense here. I know it's a tough job, but Howard is incompetent. So we need some support badly for Howard. Alright, Candy firing on Archer. And there we go. Burden's almost out of ammo. I'm going to send him back to the supply wagon, have Franklin take his place. They get a nice little rest from the battle. And once again, we probably should have taken those forces over here on our west. Our left, I guess, to essentially maybe support this situation. So I'm thinking I'm going to take Carroll and move him over here. Eventually maybe move him to this western battlefield. Look at that. O'Neill's going to push forward. Krzyzanowski, we need you, man. We don't need cowardice right now. We really don't. We need you and every single one of your men to defend against that Confederate assault. Look at that. Look at that. That is a rebel charge. You can hear that rebel yell. I do wish they put in the sound of a rebel yell, and in fact, I just recently saw from the Smithsonian, I believe, where they were actually able to identify the actual rebel yell. It wasn't just, you know, a bunch of hoops and hollers. There was a very specific way of doing it, but it was absolutely terrifying. In fact, I'll try to put that clip in the description, although I'm very bad at putting clips in description, and I don't even know the possible ramifications, copyright or otherwise, of doing that. But I might try to do that for you guys because it's something that everybody should hear. It's a terrifying sound. I'll tell you that right now. All right, O'Neill's pushing forward. We can't let him break through to Howard. Come on, boys. Come on, Shermer. Reload. There we go. That's what I'm talking about. Beautiful. Give him another shot. Give him another shot and make sure they know not to come back. Krzyzanowski. There we go, son. All right, for once I'm going to admit that Krzyzanowski did pretty well. I don't actually want to charge. Although it would be fun. And look at that. Now we've got Lane approaching. I mean, the Confederates are really, really probing our area here. I know that sounds weird, probing our area, but that's what they're doing. They are probing, and they're probing very seriously. So I'm going to put these guys right here on this fence. I think we get some good shots on McGowan by doing that. In fact, I'm going to have these boys run into place. Could be the perfect situation to get some nice shots on the enemy. Come on, boys. You've trained for this day. Let's actually take Stockton as well over here to the west. Oh, not good. Not good at all. The rebels are pushing our boys back big time. Come on, fire on Munford. I'm sick of these damn cavalry. They're going to get away way too quickly for us to do anything. Let's grab our own cavalry units. Chapman and Davis. Move forward. There we go. Getting some nice routes here. But of course the enemy has now taken the forested ground we coveted. But if we could grab those supplies, I think that's going to work out pretty well for us. So we're going to try. Of course, night is falling. And Howard is not helping. Howard, get your dumb ass over here. The hell did they make you a general for? I don't understand. There we go. A lot of our boys are pulling back, and not pulling back where we want them, really. Try to get Heyman to fire on Ramser. But a lot of these guys are going to be forced back whether we want them to or not. Brigadier General Daniel McLean is wounded. That's not good at all. And we can see that here because of F. Lee's forces. Looks like those supplies might be taken, and Barlow is definitely going to be overrun here. At least Howard saved his ass. Yeah, that's going to really help the war effort. And look at all of the Federals down here. I mean, we lost a lot of men on that attack. Sure, we held off pretty well, but not nearly enough to support what happened here. So actually, I'm going to go for the rest of their artillery. I'm not going to focus on their cavalry. I think if we wipe out their artillery, it would be slightly more useful to us. Some supplies surrendered. Yeah, I expected that to happen. There we go. Get Brown a route. And, oh, Jackson. Hello, Jackson. We just like to say hello with our pistols, sir. Give you a nice congratulations. Come on, Ruger. Candy. Move forward. Same with Burden. Not that kind of a Burden. Not like Howard. You moron. God, I've never hated a general so much, but that positioning was terrible. It really was bad. We sent 3 brigades over to assist here, and now I fear they are not doing so well, especially Graham, because of the damn enemy cavalry. I don't want to charge. I just want you to fire, Krasnowski. Just relax. Cool your boots, man. When you guys shoot, it's a freaking open field, for the love of God. Okay. General Reynolds with his first corps arrived, but it's too late to use his forces. Yeah, I'll say the way we wanted him to, basically. But what we're going to do is we're going to send him over here to these woods. We're going to start preparing for more rebel assaults. And there we go. We routed McGowan. It's only a matter of time. Look at all those dead rebels. Yeah, McGowan took a major hit. That's got to be at least 1,000 men down. I think he's going to rethink before he tries anything like that again. All right, we got Phelps as well. I don't want to leave General Meade out here, but I don't see any enemies trying to cross this area, so I think we're going to go ahead and move to the west. And there we go, finish the fight. Proceeding to the next day, thank God. I thought that was definitely a defeat, and we didn't take it, but I'm glad it's not. No, I'm glad we situation, as it were. Okay, so yesterday's unexpected Stonewall Jackson attack was a nasty surprise. He's gaining ground on our right. We had to shift our forces to defend our camp because if we lose it, the campaign will be over. General Reynolds' 1st Corps covers now our right flank, which is under threat by Confederate cavalry. He will secure our escape route if we have to withdraw to the northeast, and General Howard's 11th Corps is in no condition to fight. Yeah, no shit. And is positioned to our far left and rear. The Corps Meade, Sickles, Slocum, and Couch are now defending Chancellorsville. It's still dawn, but it seems that the Confederates are preparing for another attack. Stonewall Jackson's Corps from the west and Lee's Corps from southeast advance simultaneously. Hold your position. It's a pretty straightforward order, guys. We're under heavy pressure. The Confederates assault our camp at Chancellorsville, and now we have to defend it at all costs. And especially after Howard's major shitty commanding, we've got to hold this area. It's also nighttime. Hilly Grove is a risky position to defend, but if the rebels establish their cannons here, we will receive heavy enfilade fire. I don't know what enfilade fire means. I really don't. I mean, shame on me. So General Reynolds promised that he could send his 1st Division to aid us if the front is safe, so we definitely want to hold that area to allow him to do that. General Howard is not able to send more forces, except his quite better 1st Division that defends currently our left flank. I hope General Howard was fired at some point or shot during the war. I know that sounds terrible, but really, the man is an idiot. Just put it honestly and put it succinctly, he is what he is. Now, one thing I'm going to do, first of all, I already see this wooded position. Why the hell are we at the bottom of a hill? No, it's just not accepting that. It's no good. Then again, we do have to hold this area. This area is very, very important. But of course, you guys know how this goes. Hit that like button. Subscribe if you haven't already. Drop those comments. That's how we get noticed, guys. That's how we get subscribers. And we will come back with part 3 of the Battle of Chancellorsville. Gave you an extra long episode this time. I hope you enjoyed it, and have an awesome day.